Paul Hutchinson says there has been a surge in child sex trafficking across the U.S. A big indicator to him is the 85,000 unaccompanied minors that are missing, according to whistleblowers.
He retired early in 2017 to dedicate his life to rescuing children from traffickers. He has been involved in over 70 undercover missions since and is the real-life Pablo Delgado from the movie Sound of Freedom. To keep your kids safe, Paul says you can go to liberatinghumanity.com and he says you can get free information on how to keep your kids safe there, as well as situational awareness tips and other tools. And here's this interview. You led over 70 undercover rescue operations. So tell me more about what you found there. How do children usually get into the hands of those traffickers?
Well, you know, a lot of people will go to see our movie, Sound of Freedom, and they'll leave thinking, okay, what do I do? How do I help? You know, what can I do? And the worst thing you can do is go to Colombia and try to go rescue children. You're going to get shot, right? And the best thing you can do is go home and hug your children. And people say, well, how does that help? Well, the majority of children that are being brought into this kind of slavery, into trafficking, don't disappear from a healthy family and go in like what you see in the movie. Those things do happen. But the majority of children that are in these situations come from broken families, runaways, a broken foster care program, or in this case on the border, coming from second and third world countries where indeed they are taken from healthy families and brought across the border, being controlled through fear and taken into a place where they can be exploited.
So you're saying that in a majority of cases it's manipulation and maybe they're tricked out of their homes to follow somebody else into that path? Is that right?
And not just that, you need a relationship with your children where they can very comfortably come to you and say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, I don't like it when you have me hug Uncle Harry because he touches me weird, or he says that we should have secrets outside of that we keep from you, or I don't like going to this babysitter because, you know, she's showing us pornography and says that we should trust her more than you. And these are grooming behaviors. And a majority of children who are exploited in this way actually sleep in their own beds at night, and parents need to be aware of the things that they can do. You know, you can go to soundoffreedombook.com and get all the information that you need on all of the operations and things that you can do to keep your children safe.
Recently, social media has been in the spotlight for connecting pedophile networks, for instance. How big of a role does social media play in facilitating this type of exploitation or sex trafficking in children nowadays?
Well, fortunately, we've been working very diligently on this. A number of years ago, some of our teams took down the back page that was exploiting children and allowing this kind of thing to happen all over the U.S. But even here in the U.S. Right now, in things like Facebook and Instagram and others, children can be exploited. In fact, as parents, it's super important that you're very aware of what's going on online. I had an undercover operation in Mexico where the trafficker was combing social media sites, identifying teenage girls and underage girls that were there visiting, and this was in Cancun, that were there visiting without parents, and he would offer to take them as a guide. And those situations, he would then drug them, he would take away their passports, and would exploit them. So this kind of thing happens all the time. It's very important to keep an eye on the social media of your children.